You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this podcast. Get the fuck out of here. Thank you. If you would please change the microphone setting, guest, back off of cardioid. Okay, there you go. How's that gain looking? Looking very much the same?
It is looking infinite.
Oh, that would be bad. I don't think it is because I'm looking at the
gain.
levels. The gain.
Okay, the gain. The gain is looking 1030.
Perfect. The cheering, rowdy voice you heard was my guest. But before we get to her, welcome to You're Gonna Love This.
Oh, thanks.
I wasn't
and on behalf of your listeners, thanks.
Yeah, I was actually speaking to them, not to you.
I was speaking as them.
Oh, good.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for remembering us.
To the listeners. I'm still not speaking to you yet. So you're just kind of talking
for them.
Sure, but out of turn, I would argue.
Okay, shh.
You told me before the podcast started that you'd be very quiet.
Okay, sure.
Welcome to You're Gonna Love This, episode 24, I believe. If you're wondering what this podcast is, I, your host Adam Moshcatel, try every week to write the perfect song for my guest, who usually is not cross-knitting, but this week will be cross-knitting while we podcast.
Or some call it cross-stitch.
Cross-stitch?
Yes.
Do more people call it cross-stitch?
Yes.
Okay, is that the real preferred term for it?
Only because there's no such thing as cross-knitting.
Great. That's a good reason. If you're wondering who the person that I've been talking to so far is...
Who can read your mind.
Yeah, she has that ability. If you're wondering why she read your mind right there when you were thinking about whether she could read your mind or not.
How did she read my mind?
That person is... Oh, man, so many adjectives. Improviser. Let's start with that. That's an easy one because we improvise together. Let's see, what other adjectives? I mean, well, it's not an adjective, it's a noun. Mother. I don't know if that should come second, but I think it should come somewhere in there because I think you and Luke have a wonderful relationship and he's a beautiful little boy. Let's see, what other adjectives? Cartoonist. Let's see. I'll go with writer and actor also. We'll throw that in there. It's an easy one to throw in, I think, with almost every one of my guests. I think I'm done with nouns. Allison Garwood's here. Hi. Allison, I'm speaking to you now.
Am I allowed to talk?
You are,
okay.
Yes.
Hi!
Hello. Allison, it's nice to see you. It's nice for you to be on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we were talking about a lot of things. The reason why you were clapping and whooping...
because I knew that's what the listeners would want.
Correct. That's why. Also, I told you beforehand, feel free to do anything you want after... I'm finished singing, and I think you took that to heart as me begging for laughter, for claps.
Yeah. You're like, do anything you want. Just do what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever what you feel is.
Could be a clap.
Could be a clap. Could be a cheer.
Could be
whistling.
I wish I had asked for like a dog whistle. That'd be nice.
I know. If I could have done that, I would have. I could have maybe found one on my phone.
Allison?
Yes.
Would you like to know what the current record on You're Gonna Love This is? How many songs I have gotten perfect so far?
2.
That's incorrect.
What?
Would you like to know many?
I'm a little behind.
Yes, clearly. You're up through episode 7. We're currently on episode 24.
I know.
It's no shame meant with that. It's honestly fine. Most people who come on my podcast have never heard any episodes.
There you go.
No shame involved at all. Although we are good friends, you are on my improv team.
And here's the guilt trip.
Yeah, here it is. No guilt trip. But would you sincerely like to know the
yes,
percentage?
Yes.
Well, that's good because I'm going to tell you and I'm going to tell the listeners. So far, out of the 24, I have gotten. Oh, what did we decide on the last one? What was the account? I think my number is going to be 7 out of 24. 1 of which is kind of what I call. Oh no, was it 7? I don't know. 6 or 7, somewhere in there. 2 songs perfect for the same person. My last guest, Sylvia Bately Alcala, people listening at home may remember, had her episode stolen out of my apartment along with my laptop and another laptop. So I had to re-record it. But the one that I had stolen was a perfect song.
Yeah.
The one that I re-recorded for, also perfect. So I'm riding high right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're riding high. I thought you didn't want them to be perfect.
Well, you know, I think narratively for the podcast, I don't think it really works. I don't think it doesn't make sense to me. I thought of it as like a hill I would be constantly climbing and almost never getting to.
How did you say it?
Sisyphean.
See, I was thinking it'd be Sisyphean.
It could probably. I don't know. I know the guy's name is Sisyphus.
I do. Yeah.
So I anyway.
So you wanted it to be like Sisyphus, or
that's what I imagined it would be. I think perfect is a word that I thought people would be less inclined to call things.
Yeah.
You know, I think people had an easier time calling my songs perfect than I had ever anticipated. Because I don't think I'm talented at anything. That's a joke. But
that's what makes you.
But I am. Yeah, I have anxieties about those things, as most everybody does. And I just didn't think that you could do it in 11 minutes, and I didn't think anybody would want to call it perfect. I think I found out, though, that most people, there's different types of people. There's some people that are, I think there's people that are willing to say that things are perfect, and then if you present it to them, they will call it perfect. And then there's also people who are like, nah, perfection is impossible. And I mostly agree with those people more than the people that say that my songs are perfect.
I think, though, like, especially with Chaz's, you just nail the person, and frankly, Duncan's.
you enjoyed Duncan's?
I really did.
Well, thank you for saying so. I think you were one of very few people who enjoyed the song.
Funny.
I think it is funny. I think it's also it's a niche audience who wants to listen to a song.
That is true.
That I have since titled Bestiality Commands, which I believe is an accurate title.
Yes, perfect.
Allison, let's get to the segment that I don't know if you've even heard yet because you're so far behind. Oops. There's a segment on You're Gonna Love This. It's called You're Gonna Love This. And it's a segment where I tell my guest about some music that I've been listening to and wonder if they like or not. I think I at one point called it songs that I think my guest might think are perfect, but I don't think that anymore.
Okay.
So today, I've been listening recently to Devo's Q, Are We Not Men? A, We Are Devo, their first album from 1980. Do you know that at all? Do you listen to Devo?
I probably would if I listened to it, but I don't remember the names of any of the songs.
That's totally fair. One of the standout tracks, I think, because it's just like a epitome of Devo kind of thing, is their cover of I Can't Get No Satisfaction, which sounds, I would argue, nothing at all like the Rolling Stones version.
I could see that.
To try to sing like him in it, it's like, I can't get no satisfaction. You can't get me no.
Yeah,
that song. And I try, and I try, and I try. That guy. I've been listening to that a lot. What a fun band, though. The cover of that album looks so dumb and funny. I love it. It's very goofy music. We don't have a lot of that today. It's a lot of pop is pretty serious.
But I think they took themselves very seriously.
Oh, well, I guess that's a matter of perspective then. I don't see that, but
I feel like we took them very seriously back then too.
Really?
Of course, I was very young.
I also think most music, a lot of things that become like iconic are like jokes that happened in the studio, like the riff from what's the song? The Guns N' Roses. When I smile, she seems to me, remind me of John. What's that song? I'm just humming more parts of it.
Wait, Paradise?
No, that's Paradise City. That's a different song. I'm thinking of Sweet Child of Mine. There we go.
Okay.
That riff is a guitar training exercise. It's like a thing that Slash was doing just to like practice getting dexterity. And they were like, yo, that sounds really good. And he's like, what? This bullshit? And they're like, yep, that's going to be a single. And it was like the most popular song of all time.
Because he was the only one who had the courage to
lay it down.
Like, say this is our song.
Lovin' This Club is a garage band loop that you can find on any MacBook that you buy from Apple. You could have made it if you were Usher. That's the only thing that kept you from writing Love in This Club. that nobody, unless Usher. I would love if Usher was listening to this. Do you think Usher listens to my podcast?
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
He needs inspiration too.
Yeah, and right now he's thinking, oh my God, I can't believe he figured me out.
Wait, hold on a minute. Am I like Bieber 2.0 then? Because that's what Usher is all about, is like finding these like young white boys who are making music.
That's right.
Playing guitar.
I forgot he had a hand in Bieber.
Oh, he was like he had a whole arm in Bieber. He was puppeteering that dude.
Yeah, perhaps literally. You never know.
Yeah, I would be unsurprised to learn that Justin Bieber is a puppet and Usher's hand has been in his butthole. Those are things that I don't
see.
Yeah.
I think Usher just maybe turned off the podcast.
Yeah, I think we may have lost Usher there.
But Bieber's like, oh, I'm listening.
Well, because Usher was able to take his headphones off because he is a human being.
Right.
Bieber was not able to. Usher had his hand in his butt and was controlling his hands and said, no, you keep listening.
Right.
Yeah.
But then he had to go to the bathroom, so then it looked like Bieber kind of was sad.
Yeah. Allison, let's talk music, because we're dancing around it. We're getting to it. But my job on this podcast is to write you the perfect song. Mm-hmm. And so if I don't ask you about what you like, then it's going to be difficult for me to do that, I think.
Got it.
So let's start with a non-musical question. Allison, what's your emotional state? Let's just do today. Sometimes I like to let my guest have a wide range of time periods, but I'm gonna go with just today.
You're scared.
I feel like
you're scared to ask me.
You've got a lot. I feel like if I gave you the wide range, you would use the widest range and then give me the most information. And I know I'm gonna get enough emotional information from today that I don't need anymore.
Am I an oversharer? Perhaps.
I think you're just a good sharer. So how are you feeling today? What's your emotional state been like today?
You caught me on a good day.
Okay. Continue. Let's keep talking.
I don't want to overshare.
No oversharing. There's no amount of oversharing possible in the interview. If I'm not speaking, that's usually because I want you to be speaking.
Yeah, I found that is really common in conversations. A lot of people are like that.
Especially recorded conversation. I would say that even more so than in normal conversation, due to the fact that I am recording this for other people to listen to later.
Too true.
Really makes it so.
Fascinating.
Yeah, that being said, what's good about your day?
I got to the point where I decided to see our current life situation, which is staying in a hotel for 3 weeks because our house seems to be inhabited by rats.
That's right. You a couple weeks ago texted our group something along the lines of, in all caps, rat infestation, I'm going to a hotel.
Yeah.
Where you've been, your house has been flooded with rats. You, your husband, and your son have fled to a hotel. Mm-hmm. And that's where you're currently staying.
I wouldn't call it flooded.
Fled to a hotel.
I thought you said flooded with rats.
Oh, I may have also said that.
Yeah. Fortunate, we're not dirty people.
Uh-huh.
We clean.
Sure.
On a regular basis. I think they were in the basement and the attic. And now the guy thinks it might only just be one.
So what you initially thought of was as a rat infestation may just be a rat.
We thought it was on the level of Ratatouille. When he said there's a colony, my family immediately thought of Ratatouille.
Okay, that's not your fault. He said he said colony?
Yeah.
Okay, colony is a word that implies lots and lots and lots of rats. Like if I heard colony of rats, I would be scared. That's not it, one rat does not a colony make.
Oh, of course not.
No.
And I can't. If you took me to court, I couldn't promise you he used the word colony. That may have been my invention. But he did imply that there was more than one rat.
Okay. He implied it.
Strongly.
So.
He said they.
Okay. So he used a plural or possibly a just non-gendered singular, depending on how woke did this rat guy seem.
Not too woke.
He's not the type who's like, I'm going to call everything they because I don't want to choose which gender.
No, not this fella.
Okay, he would have gone for a he or a she if he felt the need.
He's so unwoke that he would have gone he.
He would just assume the rat's a he.
Always.
But he did say they, so you're assuming that it was multiple. Okay. Mm-hmm. Still haven't asked you about music, but I know why you would normally be in a bad mood today, but why are you in a good mood today?
Because
and what do you and more than just the word, I like some, music is a lyrical language as much as it is a feelings-based language. So if you have any other more descriptive words than good, I would take them.
Good isn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's funny how I chose that very bland word.
You did.
I feel like I was thinking like Phoenix might be a bit of an overstep.
Oh man, I love it.
But I feel like it doesn't sound hard to live at the Sheraton, but with 2 large dogs, a 9-year-old, a husband, and a wife, it's a little difficult, especially when one of the dogs threw up all over the room the other day and caused $80 cleaning fee.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, but I just feel like I'm going to make it. Today, I was like, I think we can do this and we can make it fun.
Okay, so you've been in kind of would you call it like is a fog too mellow of word, like a despair? How would you put it? What have you been in recently that you've just come out of?
Quietly crying beneath the covers all night.
Okay. And you don't think that's going to happen tonight?
What time is it?
It is currently 9:00, 9:15.
I think the chances are good.
That it could happen again? That it won't happen?
Yes.
You think you've come out of it. You're on the other side of it?
Right.
Okay. That's great.
The dogs are at a border.
Good.
So now, so life is
somebody else will take care of it if there's shit on the ground.
Yeah, and the dogs themselves are happier.
Right. Yeah, they are not. Yeah, dogs I don't think of as hotel animals.
Yeah.
They're especially you have pretty big dogs. They are not meant for small spaces like that.
And they have very good hearing and sense of smell. So every time somebody even thought about walking by our door, they would start barking
and freak out. Yeah. Okay, that's horrible. Yeah, I can see why that would be not quite a nightmare scenario, but definitely definitely a quiet crying under the bedsheet scenario.
And then we got Rain, which is an app to sound like rain. Uh-huh. So for about 36 straight hours to keep the dogs from barking, we were listening to
constant
a
rain.
Very loud thunderstorm.
And that just like scared the dogs enough that they wouldn't would do anything? Is that the idea?
You know what's funny is it relaxed them.
Really? Because my image, I don't know if you have the same one, but if I think of a dog in a thunderstorm.
Freaking out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I've got a good picture of your emotional state now. How do you think? Do you think I've got it?
I think so. But I wanted to say something about music.
I know. Yeah, that's why I was. That was a segue. I wasn't like, and we're done. Yeah, no, I'm glad you want to talk about music because I do too. Because we've got a little bit of time left and we got to get to it. So what? Yeah. What did you want to talk about? You've told me you've had some musical thoughts that you are bringing in. So what do you got?
Okay, so the musical thought that I wanted to talk about is, so before Christmas, at UCB they had a panel for depressed comics, not like blue comics who are blue, but like comics who are sad, but comics who like have depression. Right. And so one friend of mine was saying he just dives into his depression for a little while. And then he's like, done. And then just kind of flushes it out. So I decided to try that over the holidays. And it was really good. And I listened to Queen. I forgot the song, but it's the most depressing Christmas song. You just picture him as that's the year he found out he had AIDS. And then there's a Blues Traveler song.
You're not thinking of, what's the name of that song? Why can't you be happy at the Emerald Bar? Oh, that's Spread Your Wings. That's a pretty happy song.
No, it's very, very sad song. I know I need to keep talking.
I can talk if you
talk
like.
And I will find it.
That's interesting because I don't usually think of Queen as being a very sad band. There's not a lot of Queen songs that are very sad. But do you have the song? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's Thank God It's Christmas, which sounds happy.
That sounds real. I would say that sounds, what's the word I'm looking for? Not anxious, but like you can't wait for it. Like there's no, I can't think of words today.
Sarcastic is how I decided it was sarcastic.
Desperate is the word that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It sounds a little desperate to me. Like thank God it's Christmas. Like I can't believe it's Christmas again.
I'm going to cling to this one little tiny piece of joy in my life.
Yeah.
And that's where I was.
Okay. And that's a good Wallow song. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've recommended it before. It was great Wallow music. More breakup Wallow. So that's a very specific Wallow, I think. Mm-hmm. But Roy Orbison. I don't know if you've listened to a lot of Roy Orbison before. He wrote.
Just a little.
I mean, the song most people only know is Pretty Woman. which is not a sad song. But he has a lot of very sad songs that are great wallowing music. Crying is a song that he wrote that's just about him crying.
Really?
I love it. It was like the first emotional male song. It's good. Good stuff. 1950s. Men were not willing or socially able to admit that they cried.
Yeah.
To do so.
That would not happen for several decades.
He repeats it like a couple times in a row, and in my mind, I hear like 1950s people in their heads, like listening, putting it on the sousaphone. That's not the name of the instrument. The sousaphone's an instrument. Putting it on the gramophone. Record player is fine also.
Record player is probably what they had by the 50s.
Sure. I'll go with record player. That's probably the piece of technology they were using. And just like hearing him say crying, like, and I am crying. Oh, God. Crying. He's saying it again.
Steady
crying. Just stop talking about it. Crying. Yeah, it's a good song.
I know exactly what song you're talking about.
It's a good one.
He goes pretty high, too.
He does. He gets real high at the end. I didn't go to that area. So let's talk. Is that what you think you want? But you're not in that wallow state anymore. So that's not the kind of music you want to be listening to.
Oh man, I didn't think about what I would want.
Am I wrong in that? When you're in a good space, you want to continue the good space, right? I would imagine you don't want to go back to the wallow.
I don't know.
Okay, well, this is a decision for you to make, Allison.
Yeah.
Would you so I could write? I mean, I don't know how you gotta figure this out for yourself. I've got a perfect song that I'm trying to write for you, so it's up to you to tell me what it is. Do you think right now a happy song to keep you in this happy place is what you need? Or a ridiculously sad song. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts there? Do you usually try to keep in the same mood that you're in with your music?
Yeah. Oh, I should have thought about that, huh?
Well, you didn't need to, as long as you could answer it in the moment.
By like how you did Chaz, like I expected a totally different song, and you came with this beautiful encouragement. It was so perfect for him. But I don't know. Is that?
I mean, you don't seem. See, I think one of the problems with writing a perfect song for you, Allison, and tell me if you think this is inaccurate, but you're a fairly indecisive person, which makes it difficult when I say, "What do you think would be a good song for you?" and you hem and haw, which is an understandable thing because I don't know how I'd respond if somebody asked me that. I just get to ask people and wait for them to respond. But my moods.
Let's talk. Okay, it depends from moment to moment. They go up and down.
Understandable. Let's talk more guitar stuff. What kind of guitar instrument do you like to listen to? We were talking about Extreme earlier.
Yeah.
They had the great '80s pop soft rock ballad, More Than Words. Is that the kind of thing you're looking for? As we were just listening to that, you seemed like that was right up your alley in the moment. But
I just think that one's so funny. Isn't that a funny song?
I'm in agreement.
I feel like that is such a
more than words.
Yeah.
Is all you have to do. Also, that doesn't make. What does that mean? More than words is all you have to do.
Right. Poor grammar all the way through, but they seem so focused on their voices and playing that guitar that they're kind of not noticing that nothing is making sense with the words.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you've noticed this trend, but a lot of pop music today is written by like Swedish and like that area of the world, which is why a lot of it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
Because it's people speaking a second language and then writing songs in it, and then and nobody really notices or cares. People don't give a shit.
That brings me to the YGLT and Shakira song.
Okay, yes.
Everybody loved that song.
Hips don't lie. You're not a fan.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
That's a great tune, but if you listen to the words, you will be as angry as I am because they're so stupid.
Sure.
And you know very well that YGLT is this very, very intelligent man, and he just never uses that brain.
Not for lyrics.
Not well. Sometimes, every once in a while, but he just puts these songs quietly in the back drawer, and then the ones that get big are things like this woman who's a native Spanish speaker saying, "Oh, you're blowing my mind because you're saying hello and pretty."
My house.
Yeah. I forget which words he says, but they're just super basic, stupid words that have nothing to do with anything.
I can't remember the first word, but it's bonita and mi casa. So bonita is pretty, mi casa is my house.
So pretty, my house.
Mm-hmm. Shakira. Yeah. That's a fair criticism, Allison.
Yeah,
in terms of music I can write for you, we
Yes.
still got to figure that out.
Yes, we do.
Because I think we're at a little bit of an impasse. I think what I need from you
Yes.
is decisiveness.
Decisiveness.
So I need you to be able to, in the next minute or two, we're gonna be making a series of choices.
All right.
And I don't want to feel like I'm guiding you towards them. It can be no's, but the no's are firm and the yeses are firm.
Okay, got it.
All right. Are you looking for a 80s pop soft rock style ballad written for you today?
Totally, that would be fun.
Okay. I think that's the only question I have to ask. I think that's
Okay.
good. I could ask questions about... No, I don't need to. I
Can
think I
it
got
take itself a little too seriously?
Is there any way to write an 80s pop rock ballad that does not take itself a little too seriously? Is my question to you. I don't know how I could not have taken it too seriously.
Yes, that's good.
And that's right in my vein. Last week I wrote a song that was the hypothetical end theme for the podcast if it was a movie. So if there were credits for the podcast, what would be playing over the credits was what I wrote. So also in the intensely sincere area. So I think that's what we're going to go with. Okay. I've just got one question for you, Allison.
Yes.
You may have heard it before, but I would really love an answer. And it's another one where I need decisiveness, but I think it's going to be easier for you to be decisive about this.
Okay.
Have you heard the song Cars by Gary Newman?
No.
Okay. That's very intriguing. I think we may find out that decisive no will turn into a yes.
As soon as I hear it.
Yes, but you will be hearing it 3 times in my bathroom while I write you my song. How does that sound to you?
Terrible.
Well, too bad, because it's my podcast and you got to do what I tell you to do. So,
Yes, sir.
That's better. That's better.
You asked me how it felt, so I decisively told you the truth.
You've been very decisive. I like it.
I do not like his music.
Okay, you just told me you didn't know it, so I'm glad you made that decision.
Yeah,
though.
I know of him. I've just not heard that song.
Okay, we'll find out when Allison comes back from the break, or will we not? Will we or will we not?
Is that for suspense?
I'm asking you if we're going to be decisive. You've been so decisive about it.
Maybe.
Okay, that's the answer. We'll be right back.
Algorithm, 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 amen. I call to order the 112th meeting of the Council of Watchers, Keepers of the Grey One, servants of the almighty algorithm.
Amen.
Yeah, can we...
Todd, you're supposed to... I was hoping you would catch on a little quicker. You're not really following along with the chanting.
Am I supposed to do it? I didn't...
Yeah, sorry, guys. So this isn't going as good as I was hoping, but...
Really, how good were you expecting it to go?
Well, okay, let me back this up. This is my new best friend, Todd. Todd works with me at the Payless. First of all, Todd, also you're going to need to shut your phone down. We do not let phone calls in this meeting.
Okay, didn't know.
So, yesterday, Todd got hired to work at the Payless with me.
Yeah.
He told me he really liked my haircut. I said, that's amazing. You got to come to this meeting. You seem like a really, really, really cool guy.
I thought it was going to be at, I don't know, someone's house.
Nope, it's in a cave.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just keep going. I think it's going pretty good. Benny, how you? What's up?
Well, Todd, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, Todd. I'm so sorry, Todd. This is Benny.
Hi.
Todd.
Hi, Benny.
Nice to meet you. I don't know what John has told you, but we here heed the warning of the almighty algorithm.
Amen.
Pretty good. You'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is Shane.
Hi.
Hi, Shane.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Todd. It's good to have you.
To meet
Good
you
have
too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So I
Did you tell him anything about algorithm?
Oh
man.
No, man. No.
Aw, man.
This is a great chance to really bring you into the fold.
Okay, it's just... Okay,
What?
it's not nothing. It's just we usually don't
bring people.
Yeah, we at least tell them about
Three of
Luke,
us.
if I'm not supposed to be here, I can.
No. I think you'll be really good here, and I think everybody's gonna really get to love having Todd around.
Right, except maybe, are you sure? I feel like I should not be here. I thought this was going to be like, I don't know, a book club? Or like...
It's kind of like a book club, but more about... Well, you were telling me you really liked... you like H.P. Lovecraft. You were in an H.P. Lovecraft book club before?
Yes, before.
Yeah, so this is like what if instead of being in a book club about H.P. Lovecraft, you interacted with the eldritch horrors that he describes on a daily basis.
That seems a little dangerous.
Fun, right?
Todd, I mean, do you mind if you could just step out of the cave for just a moment? You
Oh,
mind?
okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, just step out into the rain for a little bit.
Just for a little bit.
I'll-
We'll call you back in.
Yep.
Thanks.
Hold
What the fuck?
Okay, guys.
Seriously, what the fuck? This is not.
He gives you one compliment and you bring him to our
meeting?
sacred meeting.
You know what? Maybe if you guys give me a compliment once in a while, this kind of thing wouldn't happen.
Maybe if you did this kind of a thing, we didn't do this kind of a thing, we'd give you a compliment.
You're saying you would give me like, hey, by the way, we noticed you haven't brought any weirdos to the meeting. Good job. Here's a compliment for you.
Well, we won't say that now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Okay.
like really cold out here.
Yeah.
Come back. in.
Come back inside.
Yeah. Come in, Todd. Hey, just one more little request.
Yeah?
The voice.
Huh.
Just take it, bring it down a couple levels if you can.
Okay, I'll be very, very quiet.
No, that's not. I mean octaves. Like not. I mean not.
Oh.
Like yeah. Take
Like,
it. Pitch it down.
Pitch it down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Todd, don't worry about it. Todd, you know what? Don't worry about it. Man.
Okay.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're
Just
fine.
you know what? Help yourself to the snacks I brought.
Get some
Oh, you
snacks.
got some
and-
Ritz?
And Todd,
Yeah?
algorithm will.
Oh man.
Man,
Our benevolent overseer, benevolent maybe at times, but also
Malevolent, I would say.
Malevolent. Our malevolent overseer has demands for us. First and foremost, he demands that we like the You're Gonna Love This Facebook page, as well as comment on the podcast, as well as subscribe to it on iTunes and SoundCloud. This is a important first step to understanding how to ward off the horrors of algorithm.
Oh man. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Every time he does that, does the fire always have to turn black?
It doesn't have to. It does though. Yeah. Every time he speaks, yeah, the his voice echoes. The fire turns black. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually spent a lot of work on getting the fire to turn black during pivotal moments.
I've got a little button right under.
Oh, just tell him.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All the magic.
I should have just let it go. So yeah, that's basically how the meetings go. What do you think? You interested to try it out? I think you should at least give it a week and see how you feel after the week. That's my opinion. And like, if you don't do it, I'll fire you. So like, I would,
Okay,
do what you need.
yeah, that sounds fair. That sounds absolutely fair. Yeah, I'll try it out. I mean,
Great.
Your friends don't seem too excited.
It's just, it's not that we don't want you here, Todd. We'd love to have you here. It's just, it seems very manipulative.
I don't.
It just seems like
I don't see what you're talking about.
just blackmailing this poor man to come and be your friend.
It's okay.
I feel
Shane.
uncomfortable on your.
Shane.
Yes, I am
Shane.
Shane.
Okay, it's okay. I'll be fine.
Yeah, okay.
You won't even notice I'm here. I'll just
Sure.
sit here in a corner.
Wonderful. Being adjourned.
Algorithm.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Algorithm. Try to keep in pace. Algorithm. And pitch also. You can try to keep up on the pitch.
What?
Welcome everybody back to You're Gonna Love This. Allison, how did you enjoy your time in the bathroom? Had you heard the song Cars by Gary Newman before?
I had, and I did not enjoy any of the three songs.
You immediately knew what song it was, and you
Yes.
were immediately not looking forward to the 3 songs in a row. Okay.
And I thought about, I wonder how many floors up we are. Yeah.
What, you wanted to jump out of
Yes.
the building? Okay. Well,
that would be better.
That is the most extreme, I think, reaction that anybody's had so far to the song. People have not liked it, for sure. There's been the way that I've described it, there's the entire range of human reaction and human emotion gets put on display when you confront somebody with Cars by Gary Newman 3 times in a row in my bathroom.
Yeah.
That you can see, it's the whole rainbow comes out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I felt like when you're trying to put a cat in the carrier,
Yeah, you thought you were the cat?
I felt like that cat.
Well,
But maybe after you had gotten the cat in the carrier.
now that you're in that agitated state, do you think you're ready to listen to my song that I wrote
Yes.
for you? Okay, great. Well, then I'm going to play it.
Okay.
Oh, would you mind switching the microphone setting? I've been traveling down this road of life for so long, thinking about my perfect wife. If you think you're her, listen to this song. I've had so many ladies in my day, doing me in every single way. But if I had to describe my perfect lady, this is what I'd say. You've got a sensible flats and a pantsuit that's a match. You're the smartest girl in the world, but some dick named Trump took away your gig, bad luck. Well, guess what? You can have my stupid dick instead, 'cause I love you, Hillary Clinton. Love you, Hillary Clinton. I love you, Hillary. Hillary, you're the epitome of what everybody in the 80s wanted to see in their ladies. I love you, Hillary Clinton. That's the most unnatural reaction I've ever gotten out of my guest. Would you mind switching the microphone settings back over, Allison? Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you something. I don't want to tell you how you feel before you hear it, but I feel comfortable every time I've written a song that I know isn't perfect. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it makes me feel good in some ways coming out of recording it, knowing that I didn't do a very good job. I don't know I guess I am absolutely putting words in your mouth. That's exactly what I just did. Allison, what did you think of that song?
Well, I think part of what's cool about that, though, is it's interesting to hear what your thoughts are. I thought it was beautifully confusing.
Thank you. It was very confusing.
I wanted you to put, like, if you want to sing a song about Hillary,
Uh-huh.
I think part of what I love about those rock ballads is those 20-something-year-olds are singing their hearts out about the biggest pain they've ever had.
And they have none.
And, you know, some of them, I don't know, breaking up is, even at 20 whatever, breaking up was not by any means the biggest pain I'd ever had. And, but I just love that they dig so deep and they make themselves so raw. So I feel like I want you to go more raw about your feelings about the election.
Okay. Well, yeah, this was certainly not raw. I would also, I think I don't know what the joke. See, halfway through writing it, I started getting into this weird, like, am I just body shaming? Is that all this song? Is that what the joke is here? That, like, it's funny that a person from the 80s would think Hillary Clinton's attractive? I don't know. I don't like the song very much, and I just wrote it.
At first, you were like, I've been living for a long, and the longs just kept on. I was like, is he calling me old?
No.
And then I realized you were talking about, or you were kind of using an 80s trope.
Yeah.
And then the Hillary thing, and I liked it. I liked where you're headed with it.
Well, thank you. I probably wouldn't, if I had more than 10 minutes, I wouldn't have written this song, is my guess. But I'm glad that I wrote it for you. I like the lyrics up until I decided to write it about Hillary Clinton. I don't know what direction to go with that. But if you like it, then I feel like I'm shitting on my song too much, and you're telling me that you liked it, and I'm telling you that it's bad.
I think it has a lot of potential to be really funny.
Okay. Well, then I'll take that potential. That also potential is not realized. Sounds like what you're saying to a certain degree.
I think
the potential's there, but it's not like
it's a first draft.
It's okay. And I think all these songs are first drafts to a large degree, but this is, I think, very much a first draft.
But sometimes that's what the best material comes from. Is you're just like throwing something down. Because it's interesting, like you tapped into something I didn't even speak about, which is like I'm talking about the rats in my house, which is probably the easiest thing I've had to deal with in the past year and a half. And the election was very difficult for me. And
you can't control what stresses you out, though. That's not fair to you. You can't judge yourself on that. Like that's,
yeah, but I think I poured all of my emotion from all this other stuff into the rats.
That makes sense.
And like the election really
you didn't have like a target for it, but you had like it gave you a lot of weird bad emotion.
What, the rats or the election?
The election.
Yeah, no, the election, because what it did is it was awful and scary in so many ways. And then also I'm pretty sure my family of origin voted for Trump.
Sure.
And that really ticks me off, and we're in the process of probably parting ways with my parents and my sisters.
Man.
And so that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that you psychically knew.
That's happened before on the podcast where I tapped into stuff that wasn't spoken about. There was a Christmas song that I wrote that ended up being like personal in a way that I did not intend for the person I wrote it for. But I think that can happen sometimes.
You're a super perceptive guy.
Or it's just coincidence. Maybe it's coincidence. I can go with coincidence also.
And maybe all of us are just feeling, not that I wanted Hillary. It's just that Trump is so
he's terrible.
Scary. Like when some of the tweets I read, I'm like, my 9-year-old son would be in big trouble with me if he spoke like that. Yeah,
no, he's a dummy. He's a dum-dum, and I'm not looking forward to his presidency. Is the way to put it pretty mildly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting 4 years.
Oh, please let it only be 4.
Maybe less. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a non-starter.
Get ready for that Pence presidency. Even
that
better.
Would be even worse.
Yeah. Well, okay, Allison. I think we've beat around the bush enough. I think you need to give me an answer. I think we've already kind of said it, but I'm going to make you, again, decisive. Time to be decisive, okay. Allison. Did I write you a perfect song today?
No, sir.
Thank you for saying so. I am happy to not have done it. It feels right to me. I don't know if that's if that's a reflection on my psyche or what it is, but like I don't know how to respond when somebody tells me I've written of them a perfect song. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's a difficult thing to. I don't take compliments well in general. I think, and that's pretty much one of the biggest. I think that's the biggest compliment I've ever received, and I've received it like 6 times now, and it's hard to know what to do with that. Yeah.
You have to face the discomfort and dive into it.
Of like making something that someone enjoyed. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to face compliments. I'm not good at that either. I get
Allison,
much flack for that.
You're a delightful person.
You're a delightful person.
Thank you. You're one of the most. I think you and I are both very empathetic. I would say. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's. I guess that's just describing myself. I'm so. That's how
I would say that.
Yeah. That's how anxious I am. Is that I immediately say I describe myself, and I'm like, ugh, should I even?
I just gave myself a compliment. Now I have to go slam my head against the wall.
Yeah, it's not even. I don't even. I guess empathy is a compliment. It's almost just a description, because it's not always a good thing to be empathetic. I think. Sometimes I think like the people that don't bother feeling what other people feel and don't have to
Become
bother.
president of the United States.
Exactly. Yeah. Like our society kind of sociopathy is a boon in a lot of things, and it'd be nice if I didn't feel what everybody else felt. But you're a very empathetic person, and I think that's a good thing for you, and hopefully for me too, because it makes me a little bit psychic, and I can write people songs that they didn't know I was gonna write them. Well, Allison, this has been a lot of fun. Did you have a good time?
No, I'm just kidding. I did. I really did. I was just trying to be decisive.
You did. You were decisive. You can take the time to make the decision that you think is accurate. Also, don't feel like be decisive doesn't just mean like say something and stick to it.
Yeah, really.
That's the Trump decisiveness. Is just like
really.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Well, Allison, I think we're gonna have a lot of the same things to plug, but do you want to say them to plug them, or do you want me to say them? We're in the plug section of the podcast, though.
What do we? Oh, sketch.
Well, just in general, I think we have a shared team, Dad Jokes, that you and I perform on quite a lot. Although no shows are going to be upcoming this week, unfortunately.
But because of a venue issue.
Ugh, venue issues.
Venues.
God.
Lords.
You got the Facebook info for me. I can say it if you don't know it. But do you know what Dad Jokes? Yeah, that's the name of our team. You go to facebook.com/dadjokescomedy to find us, though, if you want to go to the URL.
Or you could Google Facebook Dad Jokes.
Yes, you could also do that. You probably want to throw like maybe improv or Los Angeles or both in there. Or or my name or Allison's name, which is going to be on this podcast.
And you may be surprised with what you find.
You may also have seen a page of improv team's Facebook before, and it's going to be very similar to most other teams' improv.
But you've
faces.
never seen improvisers nude. That'll make them go look at it.
Oh man, yeah, there is nude photography of. We're not doing improv when we're nude. That was a separate session that we had together.
Carefully posed.
Correct. Have you heard about the mannequin challenge?
No.
That's what we did. It was the mannequin challenge is a thing. You can ask your son about it. It's a new kids thing where you take a video of people and they're not moving. So if you didn't know why we were all naked and not moving, Allison, that was why they were taking a video of us.
I kept hearing the word mannequin bantered around, but I decided not to move.
You were just like,
They said be still.
Right. It seemed like everybody was doing this. You might as well go with the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus we were nude.
Right.
Which is always fun.
Of course. Nude mannequin challenge. That's what happened with Dad Jokes. You can find it on our Facebook page. You can find it on our Instagram. You can find it on, I don't think we're on Twitter. Maybe we are on Twitter. Try looking. See if you can find a video of us not moving while naked.
Maybe we'll be on Twitter by the time you look for us on Twitter.
That's possible. You can also find me at Moshcatel on Twitter, although I very, very, very rarely post on there. You can find me on Facebook by searching my name. That's associated with the podcast. I think that's pretty much it. You can find my podcast at soundcloud.com/YGLT podcast. There are also 2 demo packs of the first 10 songs that I recorded and the second 10 songs that I recorded up on my SoundCloud that you can go and listen to those individually if you don't feel like listening to all this talking, which I understand. I'm boring myself just listening to myself. If you're Allison fell asleep, so I'll just have to finish this out with her snoring. What else? I think that's pretty much it. If you would like a song written for you, like I just wrote a song for Allison, what you need to do is go and write a comment, review, in fact, on iTunes. Send me an email
And a nude picture?
If you'd like, that's actually going to be, I'm going to make that one optional. The nude pictures are optional. Send an email to ygltpodcast@gmail.com with the subject line. I'm going to say this very carefully because people have told me multiple times I speak too fast and they can't understand this subject line. So I'm going to say it very clearly. Goof '(D) space YA space with space my space review. In summary, goofed ya with my review is the subject line that you have to send me if you want to receive a song. So, email ygltpodcast@gmail.com, subject line goofed you with my review. First 50 people to do that will receive a free song written for them by me. Yeah. So, do that. I'd like it. I want to write you songs.
If he gets a nude picture from you.
That is, again, optional. The subject line is 100% mandatory, though. If you mess up the subject line, we'll have to have a correspondence. So, too bad for you if you mess it up. I will tell you to fix it, and then you'll fix it, and then you'll get a song. That's pretty much how it's gone so far.
Too bad for you.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it, Allison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm in a. It's a much more natural state for me. I feel very relaxed right now. It's good. Yeah, I think not that. I think writing somebody a perfect song is a really good feeling. It's 100% a really good feeling, but it's also like, it feels a little fake. I feel like there's always a degree of me that doesn't believe somebody when they tell me that a song I wrote for them is perfect. Mm-hmm. All of me believes you when you tell me that it wasn't.
I know. I am a person exactly
130% of me agrees with you there. So it feels good, feels natural,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I had you on to record an okay song.
Thank you. But you heard the part about that. I think it has good potential.
I did.
It wasn't all bad. Okay, good.
I'm glad you heard that. I think I was very quick, and I have always been, to shit on myself. Mm-hmm. And I've said in the past that I'm getting better at taking compliments, but I think I was just getting better at writing songs. And so I was... Anyway, I think that's the podcast. How you feel now? Do you think, is the good feelings continued? Do you think
I'm sad it's over.
Oh, that's too bad. Are you going to go home and cry quietly under your sheets? I hope not.
No, it's not that kind of sad.
That's good. Wistful, but not weepy.
Yeah.
Wistful, but not weepy.
Wistful, but not weepy. That's a low bar to try to reach each day.
It's a good album name.
Wistful, but not weepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that should be the name of your the name of your first album. That's it. That Wistful, but not weepy.
You're cracking yourself up over there.
It's not a good album name. I disagree with you.
Bye.